everybody, welcome to QueenTitiLoves. I'm back with another topic. So our topic for today is going to be decision making and leadership. So two of those go together based on the story that I'm going to share with you. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our page. The information for everything that I will discuss will be in the description box below. Thank you again for joining me if you're coming back, and if you're just now joining or coming to see me for the first time, welcome. So let's get started. Today I am going to I'm going to try a smoky eye on just one of my eyes in consideration of time. Just one of my eyes. And I will be using all Crayon products with the exception of my mascara, and I'm excited to get started. Don't forget that I am learning makeup with you because this is a youth channel. Adults can listen and watch, anybody can listen and watch, but just remember that I am learning a new craft and completely excited about it. So if you have tips or anything like that, I will gladly take them. If you have anything else, keep it to yourself. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to prime my eyes with the Crayon Case highlighter, and this color is the color 5. So I do need to actually open it. I just got it. So decision making. So sometimes you will have to make decisions and you will need to be comfortable with your decision even though others are not. So a major part of decision making is mostly strategic. I'm just going to be honest. It's mostly strategic. So people that make decisions and it winds up that it's the best thing ever, even think about launching a new product. If Crayon Case launched a new product, the decision that they're making is just based on sometimes some research that they've done, some things that they put in place within their company that says if this, then that. So if a lot of people love purple that buy their products because they're using analytics and they bring out a new product and it's purple, they're probably geared towards those people. Real life situations. If you are picking a job or picking a school, you will do your research on that company so you can see what the company is like. You'll utilize things like LinkedIn, Indeed for other people that are at those companies. And I know that in particular, Indeed has a portal now where you can take a look at how employees that work there have rated the company. I personally think that that is absolutely amazing. So I work in HR, and I understand that sometimes there are disgruntled employees, but I also understand that sometimes people are telling the truth in their experience. So what they're sharing with you is their experience. The point is that the research is there and available for you to take a look at before you make a decision if you want to move forward with that job or with that college, right? So that is that's the foundation for decision making. So this weekend or this past week, what's today? I lose track of days because I'm really busy. Don't be like TT. So this week I traveled to go to a convention. Super excited. It was absolutely beautiful, but there was weather conditions that caused some hiccups. And so during these weather delays, I'm adding the primer to my brush, and this is from the Crayon case, and the brush number is 3. It doesn't have a name. It's just brush number 3, and it's out of the packet that is ink pens. Okay? And the reason why I'm applying it to the brush in this case is because I traveled to a southern state over the last couple days, and it's very humid, and I did not intend on wearing makeup. So I went and got my eyelashes done. I was like, oh, that'll be cute. Let me treat myself. Off topic, let me tell you what happened. Because TT loves to tell you what happened. Because stuff happens. That was a decision, right? I made a decision to get eyelashes so that I could not do my makeup and still feel pretty and girly, right? So I get them done 2 days before I leave. I followed the directions. The lady told me, don't touch them, wipe around your face, be really careful. And I said, okay. And they're not strips, they're individual lashes that she placed in between my lashes that are long to kind of extend them, right? This should go right? Okay. So I'm on the plane on my way to my destination. I get ready to land, and I'm like, I'm blinking where something is wrong. Now, my flight was at 5 in the morning. I did not go to sleep because we had to leave at 3 to make it to LAX, right? Okay. So I'm like, a blinking funny, something is wrong. And I break out my mirror and I'm like, is that my lash hanging on its last limb? The lash was like in the corner here. It was coming off. I said, how am I going to save this lash? I didn't save the lash. The lash proceeded to fall down my clothes. Now, mind you, I was like, oh, I'm going where there are going to be a lot of women. I could just keep the lash, and they will put it back on for me. It flew down, shifted off, and landed on the floor. That was an interesting decision, wasn't it? I did everything I was supposed to, and that lash still ended up on the floor. What do you think I did? Of course, I laughed. Because guess what? You can make decisions, something as small as a lash, which for me, or for some, could be a big deal because it has to do with appearance. I could have totally flipped out like, oh my gosh, she didn't do it right. I can't believe she did this, blah, blah, blah. Listen, there are bigger fish to fry in life, and all I did was laugh. I literally laughed and thought, well, it's a good thing I brought my mascara as a backup because my inner lashes, they're still okay. So I just blended it in and moved on with my day, right? So 1, I thought I made a decision that was good. 2, a little bit of that decision fell apart, but guess what? I had a backup plan, and I was okay with it. If the whole eye had fallen off, I would be okay with it. You want to know why? Because all you can do is make the best decision that you can and hope that it will work out. That's all you can do. In some instances, it probably would have worked out where it would have stayed in my eye. My Sora's eyelashes didn't fall out, but guess what? Sometimes things just happen, and you have to be okay with things just happening sometime. So let me put this on really quickly. Be right back. So let's take a look. You can see my eye. I did clean up my eyebrows that are microbladed, and got my little lashes on. So hopefully I can get this done. Let me see. Oh, if I use this side of the mirror, we're good. But then you can't see me. Let's move back over here. Okay. I am going to literally do the lid of my eye. So I'm taking it behind the lash and applying it. And it looks like it was just enough. So you only need to use a really small little bit. So I planted it there first, and then I'm going to outline my brow. Why am I doing it that way? Because I kind of want it to dry just a little bit before I start to spread it, so that it doesn't stick to my false lashes that are already there. So I'm literally outlining my brows. I have not applied any pomade to my brows just yet because I like to outline them after I touch them up to see if I will actually need it for the day, because I wear softer makeup, which is more in line with what our target audience should be wearing, because they're teens stepping into their, what is it? Not adulthood, like pre-adult. And so, especially getting ready for school, I'm sure they're not getting up an hour ahead to put on makeup, because I certainly don't get up an hour ahead of work to put on makeup. I generally do it on my first break or during a meeting. Don't do what I do. And no, I'm not face to face in my meetings. My meetings are virtual, so nobody can see me. Okay, so this has a really good spread. It's really, really creamy, and what I am doing is getting this as flat as I can. Some people like to pat like this and get the product really in there, so they say, but I think that you should do it however you want. Okay, so first, look how smooth that is. I really like it. It's a couple of shades lighter than my skin, and definitely more on the tan side. I'm more on the red side, but I do love it because I want to play with the concealers that I got to see which one gives me the best color for the crayon case palette. And so I am playing with the different colors. Don't mind my peacock eyelashes, because now that I've applied this, I'm kind of moving them around. So that's the good thing about single lashes too, the way the lady did them, is that they're in between my lashes so I can move them around. And I don't apply mascara or any product to them. So I think that I will go in and make my eyebrows a little bit darker. Okay, so back to the story. Over the last couple of days, I went to a convention in New Orleans. Prayers to everybody in New Orleans and all of your families if you are traveling from. I hope that you are safe. By the time this video comes out, it'll be a couple of days after. Nonetheless, that's still important to me, and so I would like to take a moment of silence for prayer and to really hope for the best for everyone there. I really pray that it does not touch down, that it goes over, and that all of the alarm paid off, and that everybody is okay. Okay. I really pray for them. Okay, so I am going to use the blending brush that also came out of ink pens. So I went for a convention, and I had to, so as soon as we get off the plane, we cut our phones on. There were a lot of us on the plane. Really, really cool. So as soon as we got off the plane, cut our phones on, all of us began to get messages that something was wrong. And so I'm going to use the matte book. So we got a message that something was wrong, and that we should go straight to our hotels and wait for further instruction. We should not be out. Okay, so we did that. We went there and, checked in, rested a little bit, and then proceeded with our day. That alert was lifted. So, and it was a natural disaster alert, that a hurricane was coming, and that we should be alarmed and proceed with precaution and things like that. Now, the event that I was going to, I was so excited to be there. I was so excited to have a vacation, so excited to be in New Orleans, so excited to be with my fellow members, so excited. It was my first experience, and so I was so excited. And so the alert didn't really bother me at first, okay? Decision making. So I proceeded on with my day, went to get water, do all the things that they told us, to do, just as precautionary. No big problem. So I'm on social media, and I'm looking at the news and these different things. All of my family from California is reaching out and trying to get in contact with me. So out of this palette, I think last time I did purple. This time I will probably focus on the pink colors. So I'll probably stay in here because I want to see what it will look like. Kind of like a smoky eye, I think, is what I'm going to try to do, with a little bit of a cut crease. We'll see. And there will be a part 1 and part 2 to this, I'm pretty sure, in looking at the time. So my main color that I want to use is this one right here. The reason why I'm showing you is because they don't have names. And remember, the MacBook is very pigmented. So when you are utilizing these colors, don't use a lot. Use a little bit and then build out. Okay? So once we were able to proceed with our plans, I did so, and super excited and all that good stuff. And this is my transition color. Very pigmented, right? That's only a little bit that I used. I usually hold my eye because my eye is so almond shaped and so tight when it comes to makeup that I need to hold it so that I can get a product on better and see everything better. Okay, so proceed on with my time, but I'm looking at social media. People are reaching out, Queen Titi, are you okay? What are you thinking? Because I have had a couple of my own tragedies. Okay, so I have had a house fire twice. Okay, so knowing that I have a little bit of trauma in that area, people reached out to make sure that I was okay, and just to make sure I was okay. Okay, so same night, night one, um, something something hit me and told me to change my flight and go home. Now, this is something that I was really looking forward to for a couple of reasons. One, the association that, or the group that I'm a part of, this is like a major event. This is an event where I would also be able to promote the business and share the business in a room full, or not even a room, you guys, thousands of amazing women in one place where I could share my information. On the other coast, I had promotional information. I put things together to share the business and to spread the word, right? So I'm really excited. Also, it's where Crayon Case is, and it's where Judy is. And so I made plans to kind of sneak away during non-business time and go over. I really wanted to just pop up and see what the strip mall was like, see what the warehouse was like, and then fingers crossed that two very important people to me that don't know that they're important to me, but they're important to me nonetheless. I wanted to just do it, right? So seize the moment. So I had to make a decision on did I want to stay or did I want to go, because a lot was involved in this trip and me really wanting to be there. But something told me to change my flight so I could come home. Okay? So, really very light. And because this is the transition color, I'm going to clean off my brush. Actually, I have a spare brush. I have a spare brush because a couple of the influencers that I've been watching said that you should have more than one brush. I don't have a couple of sets of Crayon Case brushes, but I got a couple of other ones so I could have backup. Now I am going to go just on the top and blend it out with this color. I think I'm going to change my mind. To change my mind is the decision, right? Okay, so just in that split second, something told me to make those changes, right? Now I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to. Period. I don't want to. I want to do this because this is something I've really been looking forward to. It's okay. Everything will be all right. I just have to pray about it. Remember, I pray a lot. If you don't, I respect what you do. But for me, I'm just sharing my story. So I pray a lot and I'm like, no, it's going to work out. Don't do it. You'll be fine. And so a message comes through on my phone from someone and they said, I would really be more comfortable if you would come home. Confirmation. How did that person know that I was thinking about that? This particular person really doesn't tell me decisions like that to make. But this particular person, this is really pigmented. I love it. This particular person reached out and said they would be more comfortable if I came home. Okay, that's the second confirmation. Then I get a message that says, we just changed our flight. We're going to go ahead and leave. What are you going to do? I just want you to know. That's it. That's all I needed. So, the most important part, and important, what I mean is a priority. You have things that are priority. So the other things I wanted to do was fun and it was an experience. But one thing I needed to do was a priority, because being a part of this organization, the part that I have most been looking forward to was the major event. And so if I changed my flight, I would still be able to attend that major event, but and actually enjoy a little bit of the city and then go home. So I make the decision to change my flight. Now, in the interim, there were some people that, out of love, I believe out of love, shared that, this is something that happens. It's not that big deal. Trying to share the category information and those type of things with me, to make me feel a little bit more comfortable. I am going to use the small cream brush. Yes, it is a cream brush, but I want to use it for my inner lid because remember, I'm working with the lashes. And I am going to plant the yellow. I want to do this yellow. Yep, changed my mind again. I want to do this yellow and see how the colors marry. This is gonna be funny. Let's see. Okay, so out of love, a couple of the people that I knew, shared that information with me, and so it made me more comfortable, and because one of the people was from there, so it did make me more comfortable. So then I was thinking over it that night, didn't really put much thought into it after that because I was really exhausted. So I'm going to close my lid and put my head down so I can see the top of my lid, and I'm going to pat it on and listen. That yellow is really pigmented. It's really yellow. Okay, so they try to share their information with me, their wisdom and their experience and all that other good stuff. And so after the main event, or during the main event, and because outside it was sunny, I was thinking, okay, maybe I can stay. I think I want to stay. This is so much fun. I'm really enjoying myself. I think I'm going to stay. And so, I was thinking about changing my flight back. Okay, so just in that instance, when I was thinking about changing my flight back, I was like, okay, if this happens, then that's how I work. So if everything runs smoothly and we can get to change our flight back and it's not super expensive, then I'm just going to go ahead and change the flight back. And so when I was making that decision, on my way back to the hotel room to change out of my formal wear, my mom reached out and just to check on me. Now, we have a rule in my family. If something is going on that we don't have control over, we don't make the person more nervous about a decision. So she didn't bring it up at all. Just, oh, hey, daughter, I'm just checking on you. First of all, Mom, I already know what's going on. You're not just checking on me. But I said, I'm thinking about changing my flight to come back home. I didn't tell her that I already did it. Just thinking about it. Oh my gosh, me and KB were just talking about it. We saw the news. I'm glad you're changing your flight. Bam. For me, the bond that my mother and I have, she is a wonderful sounding board. She is absolutely team me. And she is absolutely someone that I respect. That yellow is really pretty. It's blending. She's absolutely somebody that I listen to, because I don't know about you guys, but my mother has this little mother radar, and so when she says things, I listen because I'm going to go into this dark color here and see what we get. Blending it just over the light lid that I did, but literally just a little bit. We have a really good bond, and so usually when my mother says something, I listen, and I always have, even since I was a kid, because I realized that my mom has my best interest at heart, and she was chosen to be my mother for a reason. And so I think that she has this radar that's forever connected to her children and a lot of children in the community too, where if she sees something, I just listen to her. I do. And I'm very much so grown. I am very much so capable of making my own decisions. But because she does not impose on my life, I'll listen to her when she does speak and when she does have a particular feeling. Because generally, don't tell her I said it, but generally she's right. So that was my final decision. Now, what could have happened if I wouldn't have made this decision, if I would have changed my mind? So at the airport, that's really pretty, but I need to work on this blending. At the airport, as soon as I got there and got all checked in, a message went out that there would be a little bit of difficulty in changing flights going forward because of what was going on. It impacted several travel plans. So not just to get where I was, but it impacted several destinations and traveling plans and things like that. And it just would be a little more difficult. And so I don't like being stuck somewhere. And so what that would have done to me is that would have made me panic. That would have made me panic because, and it would have made me upset because my first mind told me what to do. My first mind told me what to do. A few people confirmed it for me, which is a divine connection. And I made the decision, and I almost reneged on that decision based on a little bit of peer pressure, a little bit of just wanting to do what I wanted to do. But sometimes you have to listen to your inner voice, which for me is God. And you have to make decisions that aren't easy, and you have to stand by them, and you have to be okay with them. Because the turnout of all of this could also be that nothing happens, which is my hope, that everything works out just fine, and that everyone could have proceeded with what they were doing. The reality is, we just don't know. And when you don't know, you can only use the information that you have. I'm going to fill in my eyebrow a little bit and then come back and play with the colors. I think that, hold on. So my lid I did here with the yellow color. And then I did here darker and then lighter, of course. And then I need to clean up and cut across there and clean up here. So you can make decisions. You have to make them. This is a coffee, and it's from the Crayon case. It's a coffee, I think it's a lip liner. It's a color pencil. Okay. Okay, so I'm using a pencil today just to see how they work, because I want to try. Look at that crust line. That sucker is crisp. So I made a decision. I was okay with that decision, despite what I saw on social media or the news or what people had to say. That's really crisp. I love it. And in here, I'm going to start here, not at the beginning of my brow. I'm going to start here and darken it a little bit. I made a decision that I was okay with, that some did not particularly agree with, and that's okay. It's not for anybody to agree with everything that you do, because it's not their life, it's not their fate, and the consequences also not theirs, right? So whatever decision that you make, let me tell you why I like this for what I just did. It is a toffee color and it's really light on the top. So when I blend this out, it looks really pretty up against this purple in real life. And it looks really pretty up against this purple. And so I want to blend it out and see what it looks like. And I'm going to blend it out with my crayon case spoolie. And we'll see. And I'm sorry for itching my nose. I'm probably going to do that a lot on a lot of my videos, and my nose turns red because I have allergies. It's allergy season, and I can't help but to do that to my nose. So I'm really sorry if that bothers anybody. I hope that you'll continue to watch, but I can't do anything about it. If I take a Benadryl, the video will be of me laying on the desk. I don't want to lay on the desk. I want to do a video. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to take my spoolie and work that in. And I love it. I find that people that go darker on their brows, unless they have dyed their hair jet black or have jet black braids or what have you, to me it just makes the person look harder. And by harder, I mean older than they have to be looking. They don't look their age even. I think that's pretty. And I'm going to just blend it out more with my blending brush to remove those harsh lines, but keep that pretty purple color in there. Nice pinks across the top. And I really like to just use circular motions, and sometimes I swipe. It depends on what my hand decides to do. So that's really big. Let me see if I could go back. I can. Okay. So again, make the decisions that are best for you. Don't let anybody else tell you what's best for you, but utilize wisdom. So if somebody is trying to give you directions, tell you a faster way to do something that you're currently doing, not shortcuts, but a faster way. So there's something that we call lean. So a lean process means that there are steps within your process that you're doing that you don't need to do, that are literally wasting time and do not have value. So if those are the type of things somebody is trying to teach you, don't ever be so stubborn that you don't listen, because a hard head makes a soft tail. And I'm telling you, that's really true. But if it's something that somebody is trying to tell you to change about yourself that you agree with, or with a process that you agree with, and you really like white liner, something like that, and you really like it, but it's out of style, I'm going to need you to keep wearing your white liner. You want to know why? Because that's what you like, number one. That's what's best for you, and maybe that's your signature now, because everything that goes out of style generally comes back to style. I sound like my mom. But it's so true. I'm just saying. Have y'all noticed that bell-bottom pants are coming back? Those suckers have came back around like 67 million thousand times since the 70s. So it does happen. But it's your decision if you want to wear them or not. I'm not wearing them. QueenTiti can't do it. Because I think you should wear things that match your shape. And we don't always get it right. But I know for sure and I'm short, so I don't think I should do it. But you can if you want to. So, I am absolutely okay with my decision. I was so happy to touch down and be home. I absolutely hugged my husband for about 367 hours. I really didn't care that he was really sleepy. And that's what worked for me. And, you know, despite people or a youth thinking that when you're an adult, you make all the right decisions and we have it so easy and we don't understand. If you notice, everything that I'm sharing with you is a decision and wrapped around a story or something that just happened to me, and I am very much an adult. I am very much a responsible adult. I am very much an accomplished adult. I am very much still my mother's child. And so you never grow up to the point where you're still not a little bit of a kid, which is why this space is really fun, of me learning to work with colors and learning to work with makeup and working on my technique and working on my technique with you. So I'm going to be starting something else really soon. I'm not going to announce it yet because, listen, Titi don't like pressure, and this is enough for right now, but it is something else that I'm working on that's for myself. It's in the area of health, and it's something that I will share my journey with you. And hopefully some of you will jump on and share the journey with myself and KB as well. And then, you know, it'll lead to happier, healthy lives. So that'll be great. I'm just taking a paper towel, since I didn't do a full face of makeup where you would normally cut the crease with concealer. And I'm just taking it and wiping it with a napkin, just to try to clean it up. And it is working. And that is another thing. See how I cut that? It's really clean. That's another thing I really like about the Crayon case products. It doesn't take a bulldozer and a prayer to get this stuff off of your face. So it's actually, it goes on really well and it comes off really well. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm not done, obviously. Let me try. I do like the way those colors mix together. I think I should go a little darker in here to smoke it out. Smoke it out. That's a makeup term. Let's see. So I'm going to open the matte book back up, and I'm going to go back in some more with this like wine color. Not that brush. Not that brush, QueenTiti. Not that brush. Let's try. I'm going to try the same brush that I originally had with that color. No, I'm not. I'm going to switch to a crayon brush because I see one that looks a little bit smaller, and so then it might give me more control for my small eyes. For my small eyes, let's see. We have a crease brush and we have a medium blending brush. Let's use the medium blending brush. It looks like that. Okay, it's a little bit smaller than the other one. And just so you know, guys, because I'm a person of integrity, I don't even practice when I'm not on with you guys. So when I'm not on with you guys, I do my regular makeup, how I wear it, and then I only practice with you guys, because my goal is to see the difference in the makeup that I started with, and trying to blend out colors and make them visible, and see how we end up at